Hey, it's your girl Angel. Like and subscribe down below. This is my mom, and I'll be talking to her today about her life, just little bits and pieces. Remember when I said that you should get to know your parents as a human being instead of just judging they parenting without knowing who they are and what they've been through? And give you an example of that. Okay? All right, pay attention. All right then. So, Mom, tell us a little bit about your childhood, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, and kind of like a summary.
Well, I was born March 2nd, 1964. And I was with my real mom for 5 years because at 5 years old, I ended up getting hit by a car. And all of my brothers and sisters and myself, we ended up going to foster homes and orphanages. And about myself, it wasn't an easy life, but God is good. It wasn't an easy life. I went to 2 foster homes and an orphanage. I had 13 brothers and sisters. I didn't know where they were, or neither my mother. For that fact, I didn't know where she was either.
Would you say that with experiencing that at a young age, that you experienced abandonment at a young age?
Oh, yes. Had abandonment issues up until maybe about almost 10 years ago.
Okay. So when you went to these foster homes, did you have a good experience or did you have a bad experience?
I had a bad experience. I was beat, sexually molested. The things that you hear that happens to a lot of foster kids, or kids that's in orphanage, or what have you.
Okay. So when you was adopted by who I got to know as my grandma, for a long period of time, your foster mother, Miss Shirley, what was your experience then? Take us through, like, when you first got to the home, like you're seeing a house that seems stable or whatnot.
Oh, it felt good. And the foster home I had just came from, it was like 5 kids. I believe it was 5 of us. So, and then it was 13 of my real brothers and sisters. So it's like I had never been the only child up until this point. I ended up being the only child. Didn't have to wait to eat. Didn't have to fight over eating. But it felt good at first. Had my own room, my own TV, my own everything. And for the first time in my life. That felt good because I never experienced it before.
Okay, so at what point of that good feeling, she made a space for you, it was like nice, you had toys, you had, things of that sort that kids have, right? So at what point did that turn into another abusive situation?
I mean, I was really young. I was like 8 when I got to her. So
did it happen right away or?
No, it did not happen right away, right in the door. It happened after she got the adoption papers.
So what timeline would you say that was? About a week, a month? Far as you know.
I think I was 9.
Okay.
I think she had me a year.
So, did you feel like, kind of like as a child, what was that feeling, that first initial feeling? Was it like, oh, you felt like, okay, this is what you was betrayed? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at what age did you find your real family, and what was that feeling at first?
Age 20.
Okay.
And that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until this point, well, for one, I miss them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing because for number one, I thought I was told my mother was dead.
Okay.
But I found out my mother was living. So I got to meet all my brothers and sisters and my mom. So it was an amazing feeling.
Okay. And then when did that change?
Oh.
Her fur and...
That changed right away.
Okay.
Because, I had to learn what it is to have grown brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I didn't get along with everybody, but it was different.
Okay.
From having brothers and sisters when I was a little bitty girl, than having them and they all grown now.
Mm-hmm.
And as for my mom, I just couldn't believe she was real. So I slept in the bed with her the first night I met her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to keep pinching myself to know if this is real. Am I actually sleeping with my mom? That was amazing.
Okay. So when you first initially had the feeling of meeting your family and then finding out like this wasn't the fairy tale that you thought it was going to be, what was that initial feeling?
Another thing, betrayed, angry,
Mm-hmm.
sad, lonely sometimes.
So once again in your life for the third, fourth time, you're in a position to feel betrayed.
Yes.
So when a person keep on being betrayed over and over again, abandoned, what do you think that does to somebody's psyche?
I think it just put them in a place of especially when they're already suffering with depression, it makes depression worse.
Mm-hmm.
It make the abandonment issues worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing you don't expect to find out is that you have to feel abandoned again at my age. You already went through your childhood abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And without the brothers and sisters you knew you were born to. And then to go through that again at my age, I would say abandonment issues is hard to get over.
So, being your age now and looking over your life, how do you think that your upbringing affected you as a woman, as a mother, as just a person overall?
I think as a mother, I was depressed more than I would have wanted to be. But I believe I turned out to be the best mother I knew how to be.
Mm-hmm.
The woman I am now, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because, hey, when you keep getting abandoned, You learn to be stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Either give up or be stronger. I'm stronger than I thought I was.
So, with being a woman that's a Christian, did that waver your faith at any point? Or did that make you feel like you got to be here for a reason and strengthen your faith, in your opinion?
Well, I went a while not being in church, which is the once again disappointed in church. The part that hurt me is not being able to find people that don't want to be bothered with you in church.
So you went to church looking for, I'm sorry, would this be accurate? You went to church looking for love or comfort, and you found out that even in church is the same situation, or maybe similar?
Well, I went to church because I was raised in church, but then as an adult, I think I expected to be loved in church. But that's not necessarily true. I found that it's a lot of people that didn't want to be bothered with me because, you know, they have, what you call that? Their little groups of
Cliques,
people. Their little cliques. And I just was never chosen to be one of those, which I don't want to be in a clique anyway because I love people. I'm amazed that I love people after all I've been through, but I do love people. So I never chose or wanted to be in a clique, but they didn't want me there anyway. These people went out to concerts, dinner, things like that, and didn't invite me. But I must say I did get invited to some things when I was at Glad Tidings.
And see, okay, let's be clear on that, because it's not like, okay, you was a person in church that was a singer, you see, and everybody like embrace your talent, but you saying they didn't embrace you. So that to me is like, shows that people are two-sided, and they say, God don't want lukewarm Christians. In the same hand, we have to remember that church is like a hospital. These people are no different than the people out here. They're coming there to be healed, to be better. So I think that we expect, even myself, expect them to be better. And then that hurts us even worse when they're not. But in the same hand, yes, when you get to a certain level of being a Christian, a grown Christian, you know how they always say, like, okay, you a milk Christian, you ain't got the meat yet. But the people that is supposed to be on the motherboard and stuff like that, and them been in different levels of church, they should have the meat by then. So at this point, you should learn how to embrace with love.
Well, you use motherboard as an example.
Yeah.
And I did forget to say this. I love the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
I did find my place in church, and it wasn't with who I thought it was. My age group, or maybe people a little older than me, didn't accept me. But the people that were a lot older than me took time out to talk to me, to want to sit, by me, and to want to embrace me. And that was the mothers. That was the mothers board.
But you know what? You ever heard of people saying them the best people to be around is the older people? That's when you gain wisdom, knowledge.
But guess what? I had to find that out.
Yeah,
when I was young, when I was young, I wanted to be with people.
Of course, that's normal. You want to be, you know what I'm saying, with people, your peers. Let's go back a little bit to how did it feel to be a young mother? Because you was a young mother, right?
17.
Okay. So, how did it feel? What was the struggles of being a young mother? Because we got a lot of young mothers out there, and I just want them to get different aspects on how do it feel to be a young mother, for them not to be, you know what I'm saying? They may be going through the same thing, like being in church and being treated different because you're pregnant, or, you know, what's your parents' response? So give us a little of that.
Well, my mama didn't respond too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she loved kids and she couldn't have kids. So my mother that adopted me, she didn't respond too bad. But church was from a different era. Back then. My mother told me one day she was going to take me to church so I can apologize to the deacons for being pregnant.
Apologize to the deacons.
Apologize to the deacons.
Y'all hear that? Okay.
For being pregnant.
Okay, what was that for?
That's how they ran church back then.
Okay, but can you, like, what was that, because you fornicated?
Yes.
Okay. So you had to apologize for your sin in front of everybody. Yeah. As if you're not already embarrassed.
Yeah, in front of the deacons. Just the deacons.
Oh, just the deacons. So they had like a meeting like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, like I hear Jehovah's Witnesses is, I don't want y'all to get offended because I don't know. Okay, so did you feel emotional after that?
I was scared. Because I was
young.
16 when I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
17 when I had you. I was scared. My mom whooped me when I got home.
Why she whooped you if she wasn't mad about you being pregnant?
She wasn't mad about me getting pregnant, but you know how older people want to look good in front of the church.
So you mean to tell me she whooped you just to whoop you, just so she could look good? Like she
whooped me because I wouldn't apologize. I was scared and I wouldn't do it.
Okay. So, as y'all can see, now what era was that? 1970,
the end of 1979, something like that.
So, as y'all can see, the 70s was way different, whatever. First of all, people thought that was the way
1980.
The way of raising kids anyway,
mm-hmm.
abuse. And then they was always trying to people please, especially when it come to church. So, was saying that religion was totally different as well, right? So, it was more like the church also controlled your life. And this is why I say about organized religion. We got to get more to we got to get more into the Bible versus religion. We got to figure out what's going to actually help people, because this is a time where people really need us. But this is my whole point of sitting down talking to you, Mom, is for people to see that no matter what you've been through, that it's, some type of rainbow at the end. And also for people to realize that their parents have a story too. And that to understand your parents fully or people fully, you have to be, mindful of them as a person. So we appreciate you today.
I never lost my faith.
Okay, that wasn't commercial at all. She's so extra. All right, love y'all. Peace.